Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss English first language 10th standard lesson 1, that is a wrong man in workers paradise. So here we would like to discuss about the author. Rabindranath Tagore 1861 to 1941 is our national poet. He had a multifaceted personality. He was not only a great poet but also a genius in music, painting, acting, choreography, etc. He was the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize. He was awarded the honor in 1913 for his Gitanjali, a collection of poems. So here Rabindranath Tagore was born on 7th May 1861 in Calcutta, that is British India, and he was died in 7th August 1941 at the age of 80 in Calcutta, British India. So about his life, the youngest son of Debendranath Tagore, his father name is Debendranath Tagore. He was the youngest son of his father, and his father was a leader of the Brahma Samaj. And when he was in a small boy, he educated at home in early childhood. He was Upanishad and ideals. At the age of 17, he sent to England for the formal schooling, and he started an experimental school at Shantiniketan, and it is a Upanishadic ideals of the education. You do have a Shantiniketan lesson in 8th standard, so that you can easily know about him. And he participated in Indian nationalist movement, and he won Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. And Rabindranath was the first Indian to win Nobel Prize. He only um, written the national anthem, and honorific in Gurudev by the Mahatma Gandhi. His notable works are Gitanjali, Dak Ghar, and Gare Bhaire, etc. And the adaptations are Kabuliwala, Chokar Bali. So these are translated in English of his works. And fruit gathering in he wrote some English translations of some fruit gathering in 1916, the fugitive in 1921, and the gardener in 1913, and Gitanjali song offering songs of Kabir. So all these his translations in English. And this wrong man in the workers paradise, translated from the original Bengali, that his name is Baul Swarago by Babani Bhattacharya. So this was the information about this lesson and author. So before going to the story, let us learn glossary. So here, whim means sudden desire, quaint means fanciful or attractive in an unusual way. Linger means continue to exist longer than expected. Play means hear, read or study. Not PLAY, only PLY. Moving finger, fate or destiny, we can say. Aerial messenger means that God's messenger. Exalted means feel delegated or elated. Jostle means to push roughly against. Bustling means moving in hurried way, or we can say like a crowded way. Absently means without concentrating on what is happening. So that is, we can say, absent mind. So these are the few words which we are going to learn in lesson. So coming to the lesson 1, a wrong man in workers paradise. So here pre-reading activity I'll be discussing in the solutions video. So let us learn lesson. The man had never believed in mere utility. Having had no useful work, he indulged in mad whims. He made little pieces of sculptures, men, women, and castles, quaint earthen things dotted over with seashells. He painted, thus, he wasted his time on all that was useless, needless. People laughed at him. At times, he ought to shake off his whims, but they lingered in his mind. So here we have about the story. What it is there in the story means, the little suggests that this short story is about a man who is mistakenly present in Workers' Paradise, and the author uses satire and mocks at the perspective of the world towards art. So the author suggests that art for art's sake would serve the sole purpose of art. By the mocking the ways of the wrong man, the author sarcastically mocks at the people who do not know the value of art. So the story also convinces us all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. So this is about the short story. Here, uh, once there lives a man who has no useful work. He is indulged means pampered in mad whims, like making sculptures, quaint earthen things, and dotted over with the seashells and painting. All other people laugh at him for his foolish activities. He was the kind of a boy who never fills his books yet passes his examination. Sometimes he thinks that he would stop all such mad whims. Like whims is nothing but sudden desires. But he is helpless due to his mannerism. Some boys, like a Sodom play means they will be rarely reading or studying that boys. So some boys seldom play their books and yet pass their tests. A similar thing happened to this man. He spent his earth life in useless work and yet after his death, the gates of heaven opened wide for him. So here, um, some boys were like who never fills his books yet passes his examination. Sometimes he thinks that he would stop all such mad whims. So like sudden desires, but he is helpless due to his mannerism and all the think that he is not giving to leave his habits anytime soon. So there he dies. But the moving fingers writes even in heaven. So it came to pass that the aerial messenger who took charge of the man made a mistake and found him a place in workers' paradise. In this paradise, you find everything except leisure. So there he dies. We know that nevertheless, a twist in the plot occurs. When there was a blunder committed by the aerial messenger, the messenger puts this idle man in the paradise, full of workers. It was a workers' paradise. So paradise is nothing but that heaven, we can say, no, that is where all are busy in just working, and nothing else. Here man say, God, we have not a moment to spare. Woman whisper, let's move on. Time is flying. All exclaim, time is precious. We have our hands full. We make use of every single minute. They sigh complainingly, and yet those words make them happy and exalted. So, here the residents of the paradise are so happy with the amount of work they do every day that they pray to God for blessings them with the such of humongous workload day. Like, that is humongous means like a huge workload every day, day in and day out. In the workers' paradise, everyone runs to work and recites the words like verses hurry, time is flying, time is precious, and so on. Though they sigh while doing, also they are as happy as a calm. But this newcomer, who had passed all his life on earth without doing a scrap of useful work, did not fit in with the scheme of things in workers' paradise. So he laughed in the streets absently and jostled the hurrying man. He lay down in the green meadows. Farmers, he was always in the way of others. So here, henceforth, the sight of labor does not affect the man who is unfit for the paradise. So here, a lingio lavenge means they will be lying down or sitting in a relaxed way or lazy way in the streets. This person. So absent mindedly means he is not having a conscious mind and jostled to push roughly with the hurrying man. Busy farmers took him to task when he would lay on the green meadows, and he was lying down in the green fields. So that time this busy farmers took him to give a task. A bustling girl went every day uh, to a silent torrent, the worker's paradise. Even a torrent would not waste its energy to fill her pictures. The girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. Her hair was carelessly done. Inquisite wisps peeped often over her forehead to peer at the dark wonder of her eye. There, the man was very lazy, and he was lying down and on the field of green meadows. So they started giving the task. So there, the man sees a girl who actively rushing towards the silent torrent every day to fill her pictures. A picture means a large jug with the water. Her movements on road look like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of guitar. Her here he is explaining like how she will looking. Her hair is very carelessly done. Few strands on her forehead. The unemployed man gains her attention, and like a princess who feels pity on beggars. The idler was standing by the stream as the princess sees a lonely beggar and is filled with pity. So the busy girl of heaven saw this one and was filled with pity. Ah, ha, she cried with concern. You have no work in hand, have you? The man signed, work. I have not a moment to spare for work. The girl did not understand his words and said, I shall spare some work for you to do if you like. The man replied, girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting to take some work from your hands. So, like a princess who feels pity on the beggars, she feels pity on him also because he did not have any work to do. In full of fellow feelings, she asks him whether she could help him in any way or she can offer him some work. So she asked like a question for him. In reply, the man says he did not have time to spare or do work for work, but for the girl, he might manage to do some such sort of things. So he asks her whether she could lend him her pictures like a large jug upon. So, what kind of work would you like? Will you give me one of your pictures, one that you can spare? She asked a picture. You want to draw water from the torrent? No, I shall draw a picture on your pictures. The girl was annoyed. Pictures? Indeed, I have no time to waste on such as you. I am going, and she walked away. So, what happened? These both are talking each other. So he said he asks her whether she could lend him her pictures like a large jug, upon which the girl inquires if he would fill it up with the water. He replies, addressing her as the girl of the silent torrent, that he would draw some pictures on the picture. Means a picture means the large jug upon that he would like to draw the pictures. So that reply makes her feel offended, as for her drawing pictures and paintings were of no use. He leaves without obliging him in frustration. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? So every day they met, and every day he said to her girl of the silent torrent. Give me one of your clay pictures. I shall draw pictures on it. She yielded at last. She gave him one of her pictures. The man started painting. He drew line after line. He put color after color. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and started at its sides, her eyes puzzled. So here what happened? He is always asking her, the unemployed man request the girl again the next day, and the coming days reluctantly, means continuously he was asking. She gives one of her pictures to him. He draws some random lines on the picture and paints it in a colors, though the picture looks attractive. So the girl could not understand what the picture on the picture were, and it is helplessly she asked him its meaning. So, brows drawn, she asked, "What do you mean? Uh, all those lines and colors, what is their purpose?" The man laughed, "Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose." So, helplessly she asks him its meaning. The man replies, "It's humor. The picture may have no meaning and may serve no purpose." So the girl does away with the picture and is unable to sleep in the night. So this is you can see in the picture that girl is holding the picture which he was drawn on upon the pictures. The girl went away with her picture at home, away from the praying eyes. She held it in light, turned it round and scanned the painting from all angles. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp, and scanned it again in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So the girl goes away with the picture and is unable to she's unable to sleep in the night. She gets off the bed and tries to find the meaning of the pictures written on the picture. So the she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all that he drew. When she set out for the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before, for a new sense seemed to have awakened in her, a sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion, "What do you want of me?" "Only some more work from your hands." "What kind of work would you like?" So what happened the next day morning, she is slow in walking and she was confused because of that picture. As she reaches the place where the man is standing, she asks him what he actually wanted of her, to which the man like want to like to have. So let me make colored to which the man replies that he wants to lessen her burden and take, let me make a colored ribbon for your hair, he answered. And what for? Nothing. Ribbons were made bright with colors. The busy girl of workers paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. The minutes slipped by unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. In Workers' Paradise, work had of late began to suffer. Many persons who had been active before were now idle, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculptures. So, here the man replies that he wants to lessen. Lessen means LESSEN, that is reduce her burden and uh, take some work from her hand. He weaves a colorful ribbon with the gleaming. Gleaming means a smooth surface colors. So the girl now spends much time in front of the mirror, like dressing up dressing up, and as a result, her work suffers. So this disorder slowly spreads in the whole paradise. People are late to work. They practiced painting and all sort of useless works. So the elders become anxious about the situation. So here the elders become anxious. A meeting was called. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of workers' paradise. The aerial messenger hurried in, bowed before the elders, and made a confession. I brought a wrong man into this paradise, he said. It is all because of him. The man was summoned. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort of workers' paradise. So, what happened? Here, people are late to work and they are practicing painting and all sort of the things and useless work. The elders become very anxious about the situation. Uh, then they are called the meeting and agreed such state of affairs what is going on. And suddenly the aerial messenger, a aerial messenger comes and explains her mistakes of the putting a wrong man in the workers paradise, so the kingdom of heaven. So the man is summoned means summoned means he sent for by the elder and he is asked to leave the paradise straight away. He signs in the happiness and is about to leave. Stiffy, the president said, this is no place for the like of you. You must leave. The man sighed in relief and gathered up his brush and paints, but as he was about to go, the girl of the silent torrent came up, tripping, and cried, wait a moment, I shall come with you. The elders gasped in surprise. Never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise. A thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So here the man is summoned by the elder and is asked to leave the paradise straight away. So he signs in the happiness and is about to leave. Unexpectedly, the girl comes and says that she too wanted to live with him. All the residents of the paradise are left astonished, means they were shocked as nothing of this sort has happened before, like that. So here irony means the writer employs irony throughout the story. So he disregards art literally but is being sarcastic. So his attitude towards art is actually the attitude of society towards it. So with this I'm going to end this lesson. I hope you understand this lesson better. If you have any doubts and any you want to me to change any other subject wise doubts, please leave comment on below. And if you like my videos, please subscribe, share, and do watching. Keep watching. Thank you for watching.